In this session, we will be discussing the concept of freezing. Freezing is a method of low temperature preservation of fish where we will be making use of a sub-zero level temperature for achieving this preservation effect. There are a lot of chemical and biochemical as well as enzymatic changes taking place during the process of freezing. The series of chemical changes that are taking place are listed here. That is, when we lower the temperature, we will be reducing the chemical and enzymatic reactions that is taking place in the body of fish. To be more specific, this can be explained to be lowering the rate of autolysis. Autolysis is nothing but the internal breakdown of proteins and fat in the body of fish. Now, the next change that is taking place is delaying the breakdown of ATP. Now, as a result of these two changes, it will be consequently delaying the onset of rigor mortis. Rigor mortis is nothing but the post-mortem stiffening of the body. Now, a fish is considered to be in its most fresh state when it is undergoing the rigor mortis condition. So, it is always beneficial if we get to preserve the fish during its rigor mortis stage or prior to its rigor mortis stage. Now, it is also consequently delaying the onset of rigor mortis as well as delaying the microbial spoilage. So, when we preserve the fish, we will be doing it at a temperature of minus 20 degrees Celsius or below, and as a result of which the microorganisms and enzymatic activity will be retarded. Apart from these biochemical changes, there are also other changes which are taking place during the process of freezing. That is, reducing the water availability. When we freeze the fish, the amount of water that is in the body of fish will crystallize and get converted into its solid form, that is ice. When we do that, we are making the water unavailable for all the microorganisms that is present or that will enter into the body of fish and which will not be available for their metabolic purposes. As a proven fact, food with a high moisture content rapidly deteriorates in quality. Now, this is the basis for the preservation activities like drying and salting, which evolved a long time before, which are aimed at removing the moisture from the foods and then extending the shelf life. So, freezing is considered to be by far the best method of heat removal and preservation of fish. The faster the freezing process, the lesser the spoilage. Keeping this note in mind, we will discuss the concept of quick freezing and slow freezing. We know the largest portion of water in the body of fish gets frozen at a temperature range of minus 1 degree Celsius to minus 5 degrees Celsius. Since maximum crystallization occurs at this temperature range, we call this range as zone of maximum crystallization. The speed with which cooling occurs during this temperature range determines the size of ice crystals formed. So it is always advisable the zone of maximum crystallization be covered within a very short duration. When the fish passes through the zone of maximum crystallization within a period of 30 minutes, we call such a condition to be quick freezing. The rate of freezing is described as the average speed at which the ice front moves in the material during the process of freezing. That is, the speed with which the crystallization or the ice formation process takes place in the body of fish. So, on the basis of that, the freezing process can be divided into 4 different types. That is, slow freezing in a process which the rate of movement of ice front will be taking place at the rate of 2 mm per hour. That is 2 millimeter per hour. Now, coming to the case of quick freezing, the ice formation will be at the rate of 2 to 30 millimeter per hour. Whereas the case of rapid freezing, the rate of ice front movement will be around 30 to 100 mm per hour, and in case of ultra rapid freezing, the rate of ice movement will be more than 100 mm per hour. So the freezing rate can also be explained or ascribed in terms of the time taken by the product to attain the certain desired core temperature. Now, on the basis of that, we can also describe the same thing, that is quick freezing and slow freezing. In case of commercial freezing, quick freezing is the most preferred method. When you compare it with slow freezing, quick freezing is considered to be more advantageous. There are a lot of reasons behind that. Some of these are: during the process of slow freezing, the ice crystals will be formed in the extracellular regions first. These ice crystals formed will be large size ice crystals which are having sharp and piercing contours or edges. So what will happen is, this piercing ends of the ice will pierce into the cell wall and break open the cell, releasing all of the cell contents. So this will be resulting into the textural changes as well as increased thaw drip. So as a result of which, the cell or the food product as such will be having a shrunken appearance when thawed. That is, when the frozen product is brought into the room temperature. And also, this will be resulting into the nutritional loss. When the water freezes from the product, the water will be freezing out in the pure form or nearly pure form. So when the water freezes, it will be leaving behind a lot of salt products as well as chemicals, making the unfrozen water into a highly concentrated condition. This is a condition which could accelerate the process of autolysis. Now, coming to the case of quick freezing, this is considered to be a good method because the ice crystals formed will be numerous and also uniform and smaller in size. As well as they are uniform and smaller in size, they will not be piercing onto the cell surface and causing the rupture of fish. So, the cells are considered to be in an intact condition. And also, the speed with which the freezing process occurs is considered to be much faster than that of the slow freezing. And also, since the cells remain intact, the condition of drip loss or thaw drip is very much reduced or is found to be in a negligible condition. So, given a condition, a consumer always prefers a product which is fresh or with minimum amount of changes in its intrinsic characters rather than a processed product. So here lies the importance or significance of the process of freezing, because freezing is a method which would ensure a processed and preserved product which will be very much near to its original condition. Thank you.